Thank you so much, Carey, for hopping on this case study over here with Closer Control. I know you've been using our platform for quite some time. And on top of that, I've also seen you close multiple deals using Closer Control as well. So it's a pleasure to have you over here for helping us with this case study. If you don't mind, could you please leave, if you don't mind, can you briefly introduce yourself and Howard Home Buyers to the audience?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's good to see you again for sure. Yeah, Closer Control absolutely has changed our business. So we're a small team of four. Definitely shout out to Lindsay, Brian, and Devin. Without them, we would not be talking. So I just want to make sure that our team knows, like it's not a me thing, it's a us thing for sure. Yeah, we're based out of York, PA. We got started in January, and I had my first deal. I actually brought Lindsay into it, and from there we've just been on a rocket ride. And yeah, I mean that's a little bit about us. I will say that we are a little different in the space. We really want to leave people better than how we found them. If there's not an opportunity for us to serve our clients, we don't get involved. So we're not a transactional company. We're like a life changing company. We want to enhance the people we work with. So
Nice. And if you don't mind, could you please tell what all markets are you currently operating right now and what's your typical deal volume?
yeah, so when we first got started, we had like a shotgun approach. So we had like transactions in 7 different states. We're based out of PA, and I'm originally from Maryland. Brian is down in Maryland. So we really started focusing on Maryland and PA, those two states. And there's specific counties that we're reaching out. Really definitely downsized our market, like what we're looking for. But that has actually been a real good thing for us. We've had a lot of success. And yeah, our deal flow, I want to say we have 12 properties under contract right now. Um, we just closed on one today. So we're closing on, I'd say it looks like three a month, 3 to 5. And so, but we definitely like our margins. I wish I had the latest numbers. I was planning on doing that today, as a matter of fact. But I'd say we're in that 30K range average profit size. We just closed on one today, and I don't like to talk numbers a whole lot. I think the numbers are just the numbers. But we did get a really good one today, significantly higher. So
Amazing. So before adopting closer control, how were you managing your leads, your sellers, your follow-ups across your different markets?
yeah. So as far as lead management, I did have another GHL product. I didn't even know it was a Go High level product. I had something built from like 2022. It's just another user, Jarrett, was on the same platform that I was, and he had switched over to you guys. It's like, Carey, you got to check this out. And so once I did, just the whole way that contacts, how leads are pushed through contacts was so different than what I was doing. Everything I had was in opportunities. So I felt like we were using the system backwards. And for the first time, I saw that you guys were doing it the right way. And I was also an acquisitions agent for another company with a GHL platform that was also doing it backwards. And prior to that, I was in Podio, which was awful. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing to hear. I'm glad that you're having a nice time over here using closer control. So before using it, right, like, were there like any missed opportunities you faced because of like the slow follow-up process or even the manual follow-up process in your previous systems? Or
Oh yeah, I mean we were missing deals left and right. We didn't have a true follow up process. We didn't. I mean, I would say it was just going through each day and just trying to keep in touch with everyone, as best as we could. But
Mhm.
that didn't work very well.
Got it. And how much time would you say each week was tied up in nurturing and deal management before closer control?
I would say, I don't know. It's pure chaos, like, it was pure chaos. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I mean, that's fair enough. And I'm glad to hear we are able to solve a lot of problems as well as the pain points which you have faced initially. So, yeah. And you told me your friend Jared, he convinced you to try closer control, right? For Howard Home,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, absolutely. Yep. That's correct.
And what exactly was the selling point? Like, obviously, because you were already using a GSL, right? So you would come to think of it, you know what, okay, this might be another GSL product. But
Yeah.
what actually convinced you to really move forward with closer control?
So basically, Jarrett took a little time out of his day, showed me the system, and he's like, "Hey, look, this is how we do contacts." I was like, "Oh, wow." And then, hopped on the phone with Connor. He showed me the same thing, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm sold. I'm in." I make decisions pretty quickly. I don't sit on a lot of stuff, and so I just said, "Yeah, Connor, I want it. Like, give it to me. Let's do it." Like, light switch moment.
Yeah.
And I know it's good when I see it. And in fact, I think I probably brought 10 users, to you guys or something like that. Um, and I don't talk to a lot of people. I'm not real loud in our space. So I would say a lot of people don't even know that I'm doing what I'm doing. Like my close friends and family, I still haven't been real loud.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that part is totally true. Okay, so for viewers who don't know, Carey Howard actually brings out a lot of referrals for us, and he is one of our number one referral partners over here in Closer Control too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm naturally an encourager. So when I see something that works, I try to share it, and help people out. In this business, one thing I did realize is there's plenty to go around. And so, having that same mindset that you guys have,
Mhm.
is that, my hands are open. I love helping people, and, I think that's ultimately why we're having success,
Yep,
is we don't have a greed or a limited belief mindset.
definitely. And for you, what features really stood out as most valuable when you first onboarded in Closer Control?
Man, yeah. So when I first onboarded, I'm telling you, the way that contacts, that was huge for us. And then the automations, I didn't really understand how powerful they were until we started getting deals, coming back to us, where myself and our acquisitions guy, Dev, um, weren't weren't hitting all these people. They were in cold follow up and all these different nurturing campaigns. And they're like, "Hey, yeah, I want to sell." I mean, the one that we just closed today, I know for a fact Devin had in the hit list, which is one of your prompts. You guys have just simplified the process. It's 10 days of heaven, discovery, hit list, so forth and so on. But this was in the hit list, and he was just hitting it every day. And, eventually, um, we got into automation, and like a cold follow up. And the deal that we closed today, if it wasn't for you guys, I'm telling you, I mean, this is a banger deal. And on top of that, I mean, we just changed someone's life. They were in a real bad situation. And they actually responded after signing at the closing table today. They were like, "Hey, I have another one for you." So, I mean, you guys are awesome. I mean, you really are.
Thank you so much. I mean, that's great to hear, Carrie. Obviously, you are loving the product. Second of all, we are able to solve the biggest pain points which you faced initially. So I think it's amazing to hear these success stories which our clients face after the product. Yeah.
Yeah.
And another part is, which I want to know is how exactly have seller dispositions, like we have the different seller disposition campaigns inside Closer Control, right? So how exactly would you say that have impacted your workflow and consistency?
Oh man, I mean, I would say there's probably a deal that comes through, your seller disposition, setup, a month that we would have completely missed out on. So I would say you guys are helping us close at least one deal a month, just from the seller disposition. And it's also easy to train, like
Mhm.
easy to teach. And then you guys have went even a step further and you have it all documented in SOPs.
Yeah.
So the way a business should run is in systems and processes. You guys have actually taken the time, and I don't want to speak too far forward, but I guess by the time a lot of people would see this, I mean, you guys have even integrated AI to answer how to solve a problem. So yes, customer support's here for us, but you guys even have like specific chats through ChatGTP to help, us answer questions on the fly, all documented. So even if we don't find it in an SOP, we still have another way to answer. You guys are leading the way. And, we just started implementing some of this new technology. So I'm sure if we talk again in another month, maybe 2 months, you'll probably hear me saying, "Oh, it's 3 deals a month that we're getting, or maybe even more."
No, I understand. Like, I think the implementation of the CC Mafia boss as that AI agent in ChatGPT, I think that's a huge help because obviously, even for a lot of clients, they don't want to spend a lot of time, filtering out where exactly is the particular SOP is. But instead, just type it inside CC Mafia boss. It directly just gives you the yeah. And on
Yeah.
top of that, the best thing is it's tailored especially to the wholesaling market too. So
Oh,
every single prompt, every single reply which you get from there, it's exactly tailored to what we are looking for in this place. So I think that is pretty nice. Yep. And next part, Carrie, is on an average, would you mind sharing how many hours per week have you saved right now compared to before on closer control? Like a number.
yeah. I would say that we have a six-figure, lead management employee in our operations. I would say it's countless. If it's not one person, it's two. The workload's being replaced just from your system. So it's allowed us to have a smaller team and be really efficient.
Hmm.
You know,
Yep. But how many hours would you say you have saved every week?
like I said, I think it's one or two team members, so 40 to 80 hours.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
okay.
It's just there's so many redundant things you have to do in acquisitions. It's just hard to manage all of it. And we just implemented some new things today through your system, and it was automatically re-engaging, pulling out like the four pillars of a lead and like qualifying. So I mean, maybe even more than that. As we continue to use some of your latest updates,
Yep.
it's like having a whole team dedicated to lead nurturing.
Yep. And I don't know if you got to try it, but we recently added these four different seller personality types in Cyclosis Control, where
Yeah.
text each and every single seller based on whether if there's amiable, expressive, driver, or analytical. But you gotta choose two,
Yeah, I
and
was going to say you have to choose two.
gotta choose
Yep.
two, and
Yep.
the exact copyright would be exactly based on how that person would be responding. So yeah.
Oh yeah, and something I'll share. What we're doing is we're changing some of the language in the standard automations to kind of match our company. And one of the things I told Connor when I last spoke with him is, man, I'm telling you, like everyone is going to be using your system, so we want to go in and change our automations so that we don't have our competition sounding exactly like us. Because I told him, I said, look, the system works so well that everyone is going to be using it. So we're already going in, making changes because we're aware that we don't want two sellers receiving the same exact message from two people using your system. So that's just a compliment to what you guys are doing.
Yeah. I mean that's great to hear. And like, can you share a little bit more about? Have you got to try those different campaigns yet?
Yeah. So, I mean, we literally just got the update
Hmm.
um, this morning, and my acquisitions guy was freaking out because a lot of nice new changes, but then also just trying to figure some of that stuff out. So I've been on the road literally all day, going around the different properties that we've acquired. So I haven't been in the system at all today.
Yeah. Okay, that's not an issue. Obviously, I'll definitely hit you up next month or maybe 2 months later down the line to see your reaction. So, just to keep it simple, so we had originally 9 different seller disposition campaigns. Now, based on the personality type, we added a total of 64. So that's like 64 different campaigns on how exactly each of the lead or the seller would be getting text based upon it. So I think that's like a huge addition, which yeah. And yeah, and next part of the next question which I wanted to ask is, have you, like, could you maybe share some measurable ROI or revenue growth which you got directly linked to the closer control implementation of closer control system? Like, would that be possible?
So start at the beginning. I feel like you broke up a little bit.
Yeah. So
Um,
have you seen any measurable ROI or revenue growth which is directly linked to after implementing closer control?
so I mean, we implemented closer control. I want to say back in like February or May, something along those lines. I'd have to look. So we didn't have a lot of time as a company not using it. Thankfully, we found out it pretty early. But I do know that what we're doing on a net revenue level on a monthly, I would say we're operating at twice the amount that we would have if we didn't have your system and beyond. So we're already setting new targets that are twice the revenue we've done this year for next year, expecting it, because of the systems and processes. So yeah, I mean, it's it's significant. It's probably it's 100x for us, or at least double what we would have ever done.
Yeah, got it. So that's basically the future, or let's say you would say the vision you have for Howard Home Buyers, right, in the next 12 months.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Got it. And I think a couple of other questions which I want. How do you feel about AI, like reshaping the entire real estate market? And I know closer control, we already have a couple of AI features in there. And I don't know whether if you already implemented the ATP package for closer control.
Yeah, so we're getting ready to do that this upcoming week. Yeah, I think AI is going to be a dominant force. I have my own opinions about AI as far as like what the future is going to be as a result of everyone doing it. So I don't particularly use AI a ton myself, on a daily, but in the business I do. I think it's a really good idea for me to have strong mental acuity, be able to think on my own and not go to a system for my thinking. However, I'm going to tell you that AI is going to level us up a ton in the communications, with sellers and, pulling the metrics, not allowing us to miss any phone calls, scheduling appointments, all those things. They're going to be, absolutely instrumental to our growth. And we may be even setting new targets as a result of using it for revenue for 2026, and also looking at the next 5 years, and 10 years of us in business. Yeah, it's hard to set those targets because I feel like they're going to constantly change for the better for us.
Yeah. So it's too early to say right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could keep it that way. So I know we're almost towards the end, but just two more questions I have for you, Carey. So, what would you tell another investor or a wholesaler who's considering closer control, but they have not quite made the leap yet?
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, if you're thinking about it, you already know that it's time. Like if you are considering, get into the space, I even have people that have no leads talk to you guys, because I want them to know as soon as they get leads, their next step is contacting you or starting up. So if anyone is on the fence, uh, jump over, come to the good side, man. What are you waiting for? I mean, if you didn't hear it, I'll say it again. Our our company has forever changed as a result of working with you guys. So that's why I'm willing to give you guys some time and talk about it for sure. It's a it's a no brainer. And if you're still thinking about it, borrow someone else's brain and do it. You know what I mean?
That
Yeah.
makes Well, Carey, amazing.
You
Well,
know, yeah,
and last question before we close out this session. One piece of advice which you could give to brand new wholesalers who just wants to get started in the game.
man. Advice that I'd listened to for years. Take massive, massive imperfect action. You know, find a problem and then solve it. And if you don't know how to solve it, talk to someone that will. One of the things I love about this space is if you talk to the right people, they're going to be willing to help you out because a lot of people want to see you win. But yeah, massive action. Make the phone calls, send the message, knock on the door, ask. If you don't ask, you're missing 100% of the time that you're not.
Yep.
So, yeah,
Got it. Well, I think that's it for today, Carey. So thank you so much, Carey, for being a part of the Closer Control family. And it's wonderful to see that you are getting amazing results after using Closer Control as a service, as well as a product. So we just want to keep you updated that we are going to be bringing way more changes, obviously in the next coming months, and we're going to make sure that we inform you of the new changes which is going to be happening as well. So in the meantime, Carey, thank you so much for hopping on this call, and we'll get in touch with you pretty soon. Thank you so much.
yeah, absolutely.